President Trump visits flood-ravaged Texas, pledges federal support amid recovery efforts. A week after devastating floods tore through central Texas, killing at least 120 people and leaving more than 160 missing, former President Donald Trump visited Kerrville on July 11 to survey the damage, offer condolences, and affirm federal support for ongoing recovery efforts. "This is a tough one," Trump remarked during a 47-minute roundtable with local, state, and federal leaders. "The destruction is unbelievable. 100-year-old trees ripped from the ground. Even though I've seen a lot of terrible disasters, I've never seen anything like this." The disaster was triggered by torrential rainfall on July 4 that caused the Guadalupe River to overflow, inundating nearby communities and sweeping away homes, vehicles, and entire campsites. Among the most heartbreaking stories was the tragedy at Camp Mystic, a girls' summer camp, where numerous children lost their lives. Recalling conversations with grieving families, Trump said, "Nobody has any idea how or why a thing like this could happen. We lost some beautiful young angels. The hearts of Americans are broken." Melania Trump, accompanying the president, expressed her sympathy, saying, "We share your grief." She showed a bracelet given to her in memory of the young campers who died and pledged, "I'll be back. I swear." As criticism mounted from Democratic leaders who accused the Trump administration of cutting funding to the National Weather Service, potentially affecting the speed and reach of flood alerts, the president emphasized the administration's swift federal response. More than 400 first responders were deployed, and over 1,500 rescues were made possible because of them, Trump said, praising the efforts of local sheriffs, police, and emergency crews. "The people here, first responders, law enforcement, they've done an unbelievable job." Texas Governor Greg Abbott, alongside Senators Ted Cruz and John Cornyn, joined Trump for the tour. The president and first lady viewed the devastation firsthand. Overturned tractors, flattened trees, and debris scattered across floodplains along the Guadalupe River. Throughout the visit, residents lined the streets, waving as the motorcade passed through intersections and strip malls. Trump, wearing his signature white USA cap, nodded in acknowledgement as officials briefed him on the extent of the destruction and ongoing rescue efforts. However, the visit wasn't without controversy. When a reporter asked about failures in the flood warning system, Trump became visibly irritated. "Only an evil person would ask a question like that," he snapped. "What happened here was heroic. It's easy to look back and say, what could have been done? But this community acted with courage." Critics have pointed to new Homeland Security cost control measures, including a rule that requires DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to personally approve any FEMA contract over $100,000. CNN reported that the policy slowed FEMA's ability to respond quickly, a claim DHS denies. House Oversight Committee Democrats, led by Texas Representatives Greg Casar and Jasmine Crockett, sent letters on Friday demanding answers from NOAA, which oversees the National Weather Service, FEMA, and the Commerce Department's Inspector General. "The tragic loss of life underscores the urgent need to understand what contributed to this disaster and how we can better prepare for future extreme weather events," the letter read. Rigorous oversight is needed not only to provide answers to grieving communities, but also to save lives going forward. Despite prior discussions about potentially dismantling FEMA, the Trump administration insisted that the agency remains well-funded. According to White House Budget Director Russ Vought, FEMA has around $13 billion in reserves for essential disaster relief. "The president has made clear, Texas will get whatever it needs," Vought said. "We also want FEMA to work better." He's pushing his agencies with tough questions. Governor Noem, who has championed local control over federal disaster response, reiterated this week her stance that FEMA should be restructured or eliminated as it exists today. Yet as hundreds of FEMA workers remain on the ground assisting affected communities, the agency's immediate role remains vital. At one point during the roundtable, Trump handed the microphone to television personality Dr. Phil, who had accompanied the group and expressed support for the victims and first responders. As the visit concluded, Trump once again turned to the families affected. "All across the country, Americans' hearts are shattered," he said. "The loss here fills us with sorrow. We're still searching, and so many children are missing. But we stand with Texas, and we will not forget."